fix that head. I want some good head. Okay. Wow. I don't want a head from you. Next video. What's up, team? Nsima the Centaur Inyang here for Centaur Form Fix number 5. Now, remember, these videos showcase some of the things that I look for as a coach. What I try to do when you guys send your videos to centaurformfix@gmail.com is look for the biggest things or the biggest issues that we can fix. Implement maybe 1 to 2 cues that you can implement immediately that'll help you fix that lift or perform that lift more efficiently. All right. Now, as viewers, I think this will help you out because it allows you to look at some of the things that I look for as a coach. And if you see that you're doing some of the things that some of these lifters are doing, you yourself can use those cues and fix them yourself. Hopefully you guys get stuff from these videos. The last video I posted about bench leg drive managed to get, I believe, over 400 views, no views, not views, 400 likes, which is the first video that's just been posted around 3 days ago. So thank you. And if this video helps you out, make sure to hit the thumbs up button at the bottom down there somewhere. Also, I got kicked off the team again.
You're off the team.
Thanks, Mark. This is awesome. I got kicked out again. I think this is about the 12th or 13th time, but I'll be back there on Thursday. Now, let's get right into the Centaur Form Fix. Remember, if you want to email me your videos, email me at centaurformfix@gmail.com so I can take a look at your lifts. The first comes from Max Hoover, who I believe performed a 525 and a 535 pound deadlift consecutively. Let's go ahead and check these out. Let's see. Max. Okay, I remember. Now, Max, you know what, dude? You're a really strong dude. You're taking slack out of the bar. You're not trying to be speedy off the ground with your sumo deadlift. You're doing a great job. I remember the one thing that I think that will help you out is more of an advanced technique that actually I use when I sumo deadlift. And that's locking the knees out fast. When you get to a certain point of your deadlift. Now I noticed you said that you have a problem with your lockout, or your lockout feels pretty stiff or slow. And what has helped me burst through that was simply learning how to, as the bar gets past a point at my knees, I lock my knees out and drive my I lock my knees out fast so that it gives me momentum into locking out my hips. And that was one of the things that helped out my sumo deadlift in terms of lockout drastically. I used to have big issues during my lockout too. Every part of the lift would be smooth, but then the lockout would be pretty rough. But once I started being able to implement that and get the timing just right, the sumo deadlift became something very, very easy for me to execute. So it's not that you have any big technical issues right now, but that one advanced cue might help you out a bit. You just want to make sure that you don't have the issue that a lot of lifters have, which is locking out your knees too soon and then using too much of your back to finish off the deadlift. You want to make sure that you lock out your knees at the point right above your knees so that it'll just give you momentum into finishing out the deadlift. The next video is going to be coming from Seng Khan, who sent me a bunch of vids, but we're just mainly going to be looking at his bench press. Now, Sang, I'm guessing your name might be Sang. Let's see. All right, Sang, so the main thing I noticed with your bench press is maybe this was close to a max type lift, but you did a lot of touch and go, okay? Or you did touch and go, you let the bar bounce off of your chest so it wasn't controlled at the bottom. Your elbows were flared out, and what that does is it has your shoulder ends up being vulnerable to injury. Now, a majority of lifters, the reason why they injure themselves during the bench press is because when they bench, their elbows are coming out here, all right? So what I want you to do is, first off, you remember the video I made about leg drive? Okay, I want you to watch that video, and I want you to start to learn how to implement leg drive correctly with your feet flat on the ground. Okay, watch that video, start implementing leg drive. It's gonna help you out immensely as time goes by. All right, number 2, as you're bringing the bar down, I want you to tuck your elbows a little bit. Now, some people over tuck and they keep the bar inside, but I just want you to tuck a little bit to help protect your shoulders. That's the main reason why you're creating all that tension off the bar. So one of the ways that I have lifters cue tucking their elbows is breaking the bar or creating torsion or the twisting force off the bar. That word is becoming a keyword on this channel. Twisting the bar, having your elbows tucked as you descend, and then when you press the bar, also control the bar on your chest. When you press the bar, push towards your head. This is where that when you're pushing, you can let your elbows flare out. But no keeping the shoulders out like that. Keep tucked, push out and up towards your head. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that helps you out. Next video is going to be coming from Raul Niola. All right, Raul. So let's take a look at your deadlift. I believe you're deadlifting 275 pounds. Okay. So Raul, the main thing that I saw with your deadlift, okay, is this. Now, you did a good job of not rushing your deadlift off of the floor, okay? But the main issue with you is that your knees were locking out a little bit too fast and it was almost turning into a stiff leg deadlift. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to make sure to keep your hips involved in the movement. The hips should be the main driver of your deadlift. You know, when you put your hands on the bar, you should put your hands down on the bar, take slack out of the bar, and drive your hips forward and keep driving your hips forward. What's going on is you're locking out early, your knees get locked out and your back takes the brunt of the work. So what I think is gonna help you out a lot is paused conventional deadlifts. All right, but the main way I want you to do these conventional deadlifts, I want you to pause right around the knee area, because right around the knee area is where you start losing tension and you lock out too early. So keep all that tension while you're pausing and then drive your hips through to lock out the deadlift. In terms of percentages of maybe what you should use to actually do these paused deadlifts, I would start off with 55, 60%. Watch your videos, make sure that they look right, make sure that you're not locking out your knees too fast. Then you can progressively increase the load that you're doing. I wouldn't have you pause anything anywhere above 85%. Let's not even go there. Anywhere above 80% initially. But that will help maintain or help you ingrain that cue of not locking out the knees too soon and keeping the hips driving forward as you're doing this deadlift, because in your deadlifts, your hips are getting away from you and then they're coming back in, which should not be happening during a sumo or a conventional deadlift. All right, bud, let me know if that makes sense. Hopefully that helps you out. Let's get on to the next video. The next video is gonna be coming from my man, Tom DRC. Let's see, Tom DRC. You sent squats and deads. All right, Tom, actually, when I was watching your squat, I can't say that I saw anything massively wrong with your squat. But the thing about your squat is that you managed to squat really, really low, which honestly isn't a horrible thing. You were maintaining good position when you got into the hole. But if you want to do a little bit less work during the squat, it might be good if you were to learn how to make the squat with a slightly wider stance. And by doing that, you'd use a little bit more hip and you'd cut depth a little bit and you'd have to do a little bit less work in the hole. But different musculature was going to be being used at different points of the squat because of this, so it's not going to be easy initially, just like nothing is. But that would help you in the long run, I believe, because you won't be going so deep when you squat. And you'll probably be able to manage much heavier loads just as a power lifter and an athlete. Now, that doesn't mean that you're squatting wrong or you're squatting bad. That's just a way that you can squat more weight in the future. Now, in terms of your deadlift, okay. This is something that I want all of you to pay attention to, okay? This is something that I tell lifters to do if they continue having problems taking slack out of the bar as a conventional or sumo puller. You should not hear a clank on the bar when you're deadlifting. Okay, so I'm gonna have a video of example showing this. That bar should never clink. You should take slack out of it, and then as you drive your hips forward and initiate your pull, you're hearing nothing. Okay, the only thing on the bar that are moving are maybe the plates clanking on the side, but that bar should never hit the top of those plates. That just means that you didn't take slack out of the bar before your pull. All right, and that's the main thing that I noticed during your deadlift, Tom, is that you, on each of your lifts, on each of your deadlifts, you brought your hips down, but as you were bringing your hips down, you weren't taking slack out of the bar. You were just bringing your hips down into position, and then you were pulling on the bar to deadlift. But remember, when I talk about like in the 4-part deadlift video there, you want to pull yourself into the bar. Okay, take slack out and then drive your hips forward. Okay, that's gonna make the pull the easiest thing to do. Watch the video I made about slack and watch the video I made about the 4-part deadlift to realize why this is so important, because this is an issue that a lot of lifters have. We're all trying to rip the bar off the ground, whereas if you can finesse it, it's gonna be a much easier lift. Okay, Tom? All right, Jackson Richardson, you have the same problem, dude. You're doing the same exact thing as Tom was in your deadlift. As you bring your hips down, you're bringing your hips down to get into a deadlift position, but you're not bringing your hips down with an intention of getting into position and taking slack out of the bar, which is why when you start your deadlift, I hear this clanking sound. Okay, so remember, grab the bar, pull on the bar slightly, pull your hips into the bar, and then drive your hips forward. I never, ever want to hear the bar clank when you initiate a deadlift again. If you hear the bar clank while you're deadlifting, you know that you're not taking enough slack out of the bar before you begin your pull. Okay, so pay attention to that. Now, number two, with your squat, what I noticed is that your elbows, okay, your elbows were really high, okay? And because your elbows were pretty damn high, what was happening was, first off, when you got onto the hole, your hips were coming up and you're coming forward. The second thing that also aided in this problem was your head position. I noticed that when your head was down like this and your elbows were up high like this. So whenever you got onto the hole, your elbows were kind of like leading you back into where to go. So what I want you to do is I want you to dig your elbows down and I want you to keep your head up. Okay, I don't need you extending here. Okay, I don't need you going into any type of extension. I don't need you going into any type of deflection. I want you in a neutral position with your head, okay, keeping your elbows down. What this is gonna do is as you get into the hole, it's going to make sure that you keep yourself upright. Rather than being here, you're going to be here. Your lats are gonna be strong and you're gonna be moving strong out of the hole. Another good cue that I've mentioned before is imagine that you're pushing, or like a train is gonna ram into your back and you need to push back into that train so you don't fall over. That is going to help you out of the hole. But the main thing that I want you to do is get that head up out of this flexed position and keep your elbows down, not out here. That's gonna help you also when you're in the hole of your squat, because you're having that problem of your hips rising and leaving you, then having to come back in. All right, Carlo, so you sent me a sumo deadlift. Now for the most part, Carlo, I'd say that your deadlift's pretty solid, but one thing can make your deadlift so much better, my dude, and that is your head, okay? Now, you have a problem that one of my clients that's just starting doing sumo deadlifts, Owen Leggett from the UK, he has this problem too. Your head position, okay? Your head position is leading your torso. If you watch your reps, you have it to a minimal point, okay? I believe that as you've gotten deeper and deeper into your reps for your sumo deadlift, your head position came farther and farther up, and because your head position came farther and farther up, you ended up with a nicer position when you initiated your deadlifts. But when your head was here, your torso was also rounded. I'm gonna show this image of Owen. It's a crummy image that I sent him, but it was a point that I was trying to send to him, saying that, dude, if you get your head up, your torso will follow your head position, okay? So you need to get your head position more upright when you initiate your pull, because what happens is you go from being here to being here, and then your hips end up being closer to the bar and it ends up being a more efficient pull. So that's literally the only thing, my friend, that you need to change with your sumo deadlift for it to become a much better pull. Fix that head. I want some good head. Okay. Wow. I don't want any head from you. Next video. So Talib, you sent me your bench, about 110 kilograms. I remembered this. All right, Talib, my man, you be looking like Michael Jackson when you bench press. You're not creating any leg drive at all, and you need to fix this, okay? So watch the video I made about leg drive, okay? If you're keeping your toes off the ground, or if you're keeping your heels off the ground, push those toes and push those heels into the ground so you can feel all of that tension go through your hips, your quads, your hamstrings, everywhere, and create that leg drive, because right now you're looking like, you're looking like MJ off of Thriller, and that's not gonna do you any good. Your toes just barely touching the ground is not helping you at all. So I need you to fix that. I need you to fix that now, okay? So watch that video, fix your leg drive, and maybe send me another video so I can see how you fixed it. Other than that, your bench looked pretty good. There was no big issues with how you actually press the bar. Yeah, it looks pretty decent. What I would also say though is your buddy, your partner, okay, dude, give your man a little bit of a softer handoff, because what's going on is this. You lifted the bar super hard. I saw your bro's shoulder go out like this and then come back down. If you do that with a heavy load enough, okay, handoff, and then your shoulder's gonna dislocate. I've seen that happen to lifters before. So like soft handoff, okay? And let your bro keep tension with his shoulder and his lat, okay? That was pretty much it in terms of that. I believe that's it, everybody. That's the end of Centaur Form Fix number 5. Centaur Form Fix number 6 will hopefully be coming to the channel next week. Now, video uploads have been pretty decent, but they haven't been as frequent as I've wanted them to be, and that's because I've gotten a lot more clients. Now I'm a lot busier as a coach, and that work kind of takes precedence, but I'm still trying to churn out as many useful videos as I can. So I do want to apologize for the frequency of these videos, but I am going to continue making videos. I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. So I thank you for your support of this channel. I thank you for liking these videos. If you want to be in Centaur Form Fix number 6, send an email to centaurformfix@gmail.com. Now I really highly suggest that if you really want me to see problems in your lift, send me lifts that are anywhere between 85% and above. If you're doing an 85% lift, attempt it for maybe 4 to 5 reps so I can see what breakdown kind of happens. Because if you're sending me lifts that are around 60 to 70% of your 1 rep max, those are typically loads that you can handle very comfortably, and I really won't be able to tell you what kind of things you need to fix, okay? So make it a YouTube video or maybe post it on Instagram, centaurformfix@gmail.com. Thank you for watching these videos. Thank you for liking these videos. Hopefully this helps you out. This is Nsima the Centaur Inyang from Break the Bar. If you guys got any video suggestions or problems that you may have that I can make a tutorial on, comment that down below. And other than that, be an anomaly, be different, be yourself, and I will talk to all of you very, very soon.
Multiply your hustle, multiply your muscle, and make all your shits be tapered.